guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. Well, I'm here with a preview for the Everton game on Wednesday night. And this time we're with Cameron from the Mighty Blues. So the first question from Cameron at the Mighty Blues was Kevin De Bruyne, and has his injury affected us like he thinks it possibly has? Well, I think I've said it before on previous sort of fan cams. Kevin De Bruyne is possibly one of the few world-class, and I mean world-class players in the Premier League. There are not many of them. People who say great players and overuse the world-class sort of terminology, but I think Kevin De Bruyne is world-class. He's proven it at international level, and I think he's one of the players, when you look at world-class and you say, well, which team could he walk into? I think he could walk into any team in world football. That includes Real Madrid, Barcelona, anybody. So you're always going to miss a player of that calibre. He's just been phenomenal since he joined us. As far as missing him, I would say, you know, prior to those defeats against Leicester and Crystal Palace, we possibly could say, actually, we've done all right without him. But in those games when things are tight, he's a type of player that he pulls something out of nothing. And we've only seen, you know, when he's come back recently, he looked like he was at 50%, and he was trying to really, you know, gain his match fitness. Now we're starting to see, the last couple of games, we're starting to see a Kevin De Bruyne, not quite at the level of last year, but he's getting very, very close to it. And I think with his match fitness now, almost peaking at 100%, he's only going to get better. And what a player to have coming back towards the sort of finish of the season, where, you know, this is where it matters now. February, March play a massive part, and that will determine where we are sort of in April, pushing into the beginning of May. So yeah, I mean, of course, we'd rather him be in the team than not. But yeah, I wouldn't say we've missed him as much as I thought we would have. And when we heard the news that he was going to be out for a few months, I was just like thinking, oh my God. But that's what we've got a big squad for. But yeah, I definitely have him in the team than not in the team. That's for certain, Cameron. Okay, so Cameron's second question is, am I confident of City catching Liverpool and winning the Premier League? Yeah, I am. It's going to be one of those at the end of the season that if I'm wrong, then, you know, I'll get pelters for it. But I think we've been here before, and I think it's a big difference. And I even said if it was 7 points, I'd still be confident. Now, obviously, as time ticks by, if we end up being 7 points with 5-6 games to go, it does get more difficult. But we've been there before. We've come back from far greater tallies than sort of what was 5 points. Now he's down to 2 points. Granted, they've got a game in hand tonight. If you're watching this now, it's Liverpool against West Ham tonight. But still, there's still big games coming up, and I think we've got such an in-depth squad, and we're getting all of our players back fit at the right time of the season, and I think that's going to be the overriding factor for me on who wins the Premier League title this season. And I do believe it'll be Man City. Liverpool haven't played well. Granted, you know, you don't have to play well to win a league, but yeah, they're looking a little bit off the pace, and only takes 1 or 2 major injuries to the likes of their key players like Salah or Firmino or Mane, where we've had it. We've had Aguero out, we've had David Silva out, we've had Kevin De Bruyne out, we've missed Mendy most of the season. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5, Vincent Kompany, 4 or 5 key players to our team we've missed, and yet we're right on the coattails now, and it's just a shame about the Newcastle result. Otherwise, we'd be 1 point ahead going into tonight's match. So, can we catch them? Absolutely. Will we catch them? Absolutely. We're coming for you, Liverpool. And it's, as Taggart said, squeaky bum time. I'm not sure you're going to be able to cope with the pressure. I think City are going to go all out on a big run now, and will win the title and possibly another cup or 2. Cameron's third question to me was, who have been most impressed with in the Man City squad this season. I think it's simple, down to probably 2 players, possibly 3. And I can give a shout out to another 5 or 6 if I'm honest, but I think at the beginning of the season, certainly for the first 3 months, Bernardo Silva was absolutely exceptional. And then he went off, maybe, tiredness and fatigue, and he's now just getting back to where he was. He was brilliant again yesterday against Arsenal. We can also give a massive shout out to Aymeric Laporte, a player, like I said in many of the other videos, a player that Pep generally wants, if he goes for a player, if they refuse him, never goes back for them. He's one of those players, managers who thinks, well, if you turn me down once, that's it, that's the chance gone. But I do believe that Aymeric Laporte did it for the right reasons. He was injured at the time and sort of said, I want to prove myself again and get back to where I was before I join you. So Pep went back in for Aymeric Laporte, and he's been superb. Very flexible, can play at centre-back, can probably play midfield, played at left-back, as we saw yesterday in the Arsenal game. He can really switch, and he's got a wonderful left foot. As good, potentially, a crosser as Benjamin Mendy, who's still, I think, got the most assists as a fullback in the Premier League this season. So, yeah, he's been outstanding for us. Very domineering, very calm on the ball as well. Cultured left foot. Wonderful sort of 50, 60-yard crossfield balls. Never looks like he's panicking. So, a toss-up. Fernandinho has been still, again, rolls back the clock. He's been superb, so flexible yesterday. Playing as a centre-back come sort of, central defensive deep midfielder. Is that good? He's just absolutely incredible. So, Fernandinho's been good. Aymeric Laporte and Bernardo Silva for me. Possibly squeaking it, Bernardo Silva. He's been an absolute incredible purchase, and God, how much would he be worth today, considering he's only a kid? Question 4, am I confident of getting the 3 points at Goodison Park on Wednesday night? I'm an old school City fan, so I'm never ever confident. Yesterday, I thought it'd be a tight 2-1. It turned into be a pretty easy 3-1. So, Everton, yeah, you'd done us 4-0, I think it was, a couple of seasons back. So, it's one of those where you've been a little bit poor lately. Would not surprise me in the slightest to suddenly bounce back and have a wonder game. But I think with a few players rested, Leroy Sané didn't have any game time at all yesterday. Mahrez had a few minutes. We've still got Gabby Jesus, who's been in wonderful form. So there's the possibility of even resting Sergio and starting with Gabby, because again, we've got Chelsea coming up at the weekend. So am I confident? No, I'm never ever confident. I've still got that City-itis about me that I don't think I'll ever go. But do I think we'll win? Yes, I do. By how many? I've no idea. Hate predicting scores, as you'll see coming shortly. But yeah, I'm sort of a little bit confident that we should be able to pick up 3 points. And at this stage, I don't care whether it's 1-0, 2-1. Or 3-2, 3 points are all that matters at this moment in time. But you only have to see what happened last week against Newcastle to show you that we should have won that. We went into it as absolutely clear favourites and got beat 2-1. So anything can happen. We're still City at the end of the day, Cameron. Okay, and your final question is, who do I think will be the starting 11 for the game on Wednesday night? And my score prediction there, I think we'll stick to what we normally do. It's a 4-3-3. I can't see him going any different. Personnel wise, I'm going to go Ederson in net for certain. I think Walker will probably retain his place. Had a decent game yesterday against Arsenal. Now, this is where it becomes a bit tricky, because yesterday we had Otamendi playing with sort of a false Fernandinho, a centre-back, and Laporte playing on the left. It depends on whether Vinny's fit, and it all comes down to whether Vinny's fit. Now, Pep did say in his presser for the Arsenal game that his simple words were, I don't know. So, I'm not sure either, but I think if Vinny's fit and is trained, I think Vinny will play. And he'll possibly play with John Stones, because John Stones was rested yesterday. And then I'd possibly go for Laporte again at left back. So all depends on fitness. I'm really not sure. I mean, if I went for the strongest team at the moment, I'd probably with Laporte possibly as a left back rather than anyone else, because Ben Mendy, again, we don't know. He's had 2 training sessions, or 3, 4 now. So I could pick the back 4. I'm just not sure, I'll be honest with you. It could be Walker, Stones, Laporte, Mendy as our strongest, or we could have Walker, Vinny, John Stones and Laporte at left back, or we could bring Delphin at left back. We just don't know, because we're not sure exactly who is fit and where they are in relation to the game on Wednesday night. So it could be a big combination, but it'll be a 4 one way or the other. Fernandinho will be holding, and then this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to give, for me, David Silva a rest. I'm going to play Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, and then it wouldn't surprise me if we see a completely different forward line. I think Raheem Sterling might get a rest and Riyad Mahrez might come in. I think certainly Leroy Sané will probably play on the left. And then it wouldn't surprise me with Pep if he rests Sergio and brings Gabby Jesus back for Wednesday night and saves Sergio for the Chelsea game that's upcoming. We've got games thick and fast and every 3-4 days. So yeah, big month coming up with the Champions League as well against Schalke. We've got the cup competitions as well. So who knows? And I say this all of the time. Who knows who Pep is going to pick? We've got such an in-depth squad, and I'm sure he'd like to give game time to as many players as possible. So even though the likes of Aguero scored a hat-trick, Sterling got 2 assists, it wouldn't surprise me on Wednesday night if we didn't see either of them. And the likes of Leroy Sané comes back, Mahrez gets a game, and even Gabby Jesus, who's been in wonderful form, takes Sergio's place. And like I said, the back 4, it all depends on who is fit, who's trained. So it's so difficult to name, but I think we'll still stick with the standard 4-3-3. As for a score prediction, I always go for a 1 for the opposition, especially with you being at home, so I'll go Everton 1. Same score as I predicted for the Arsenal game, City 2. It might be 5-0, it could be 6-0, you could beat us 2-1. I mean, I've no idea. I'm not great at score predictions, but as long as we get 3 points, that's all I care about at the end of the day. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. I want to say a massive thank you to Cameron. Go over and check the Mighty Blues website out on YouTube. I'll also post the links below to their YouTube channel and also the Twitter account. If you are an Evertonian and you want to go and check out something a bit different, there's no harm after the games going and giving them a watch and seeing what they've got to say. The more opinions, the better. But anyway, guys, Sandy from Man City Fan TV. Take care. We'll see you soon.